Warm welcome to Joey McCracks. Give it up for Joey McCracks.
That's all right. You got Joey. You got Joey. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Stafford. So nice to be here. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you for Jimmy and Jay's here to host this stand-up open mic. This is great. Like I said, nice to be here in Stafford. I actually grew up right up the road in Springfield, Virginia. Woo-hoo! All right. Kind of a sketchy neighborhood. I used to live next door to a prostitute named Candy. It had its perks. Like on Halloween, I'd knock on that door and say trick or treat. Hell, I couldn't lose. Either way, you could get some candy, you know? You see, I grew up in one of those families that we weren't pro-life or pro-choice. We were more like pro-Zach, I think. Shoot, are you kidding? My family was such regulars on the television show Cops. If the Television Academy had an outstanding performance for public intoxication, we'd have taken home the Emmy. That's all I'm saying. I'm just glad we never showed up on the Family Feud. Holy crap, would that have been embarrassing, you know? I can imagine they asked my dad, they said, name something you find at a breakfast table. He'd be like, dun-dun-dun, scotch. They asked my mom, they said, name something you bring to a family gathering. She's like, dun-dun-dun, conflict. Good answer, accurate answer. Now, the best answer would come from my cousin. They'd ask her, they'd say, name something you'd associate with a wedding. She'd be like, dun-dun-dun, a shotgun. Kind of expected that. I still remember the preacher at her wedding up there going, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today because of a positive reading on a home pregnancy test. Wed this couple because it's customary. So, now, don't worry, not all my family were heathens, okay? Because I actually had a devout aunt that was a devout Catholic. In fact, she had a bumper sticker on the back of her car that said, all children are a gift from God. I used to tease her. I said, if you're adopted, does that mean you've been re-gifted? She'd look at me and go, you're going to burn in hell. I said, I can't. I'm a gift from God. That makes me... Damn right. Makes me flame retardant. She just looked at me and go, oh, you're retardant, all right. No, you got to take care of yourselves. Be careful when you're out on the internet. I found out that companies can now harvest your browsing data and use it to specifically target you with ads. I got an email the other day. It says, we'll hook you up with sexy seniors in this area. I typed back. I said, shouldn't you at least wait till they've graduated high school first? Hey, that 17 to 18-year-old range is a little tough to navigate, you know? Got to be careful on the internet. A lot of scams out there. I was on this 23andMe website. Thought I was signed up for genetic testing. Yeah, it turned out I got tricked into signing up for a gangbang. Not the 23andMe I was expecting. I don't care what they tell you at a blackjack table, 21 is not considered a lucky number. But don't get me wrong, technology is wonderful, folks. They got, like now when a child goes missing, what do? They send out one of those Amber Alerts, right? Back in our days, remember, what did they do? They put their face on a milk carton. And they stopped doing that once they found out child predators were cutting them out and using them as trading cards. Oh my God, it was like Pokemon for pedophiles, I swear to God. I abducted you. Oh, man. I'll tell you, I think Dollar General is the only place Walmart customers can make fun of. You know, that's... I mean, how do you trust 10 cans of soup for $1 when you can't even read the handwritten sell-by date on the bottom of the can, you know? Oh, my God. I'll tell you, I think there's a reason they stock toilet paper and underwear all in the same aisle, you know? And if you can't trust their food products, how the hell are you going to trust their family planning? I swear to God, I was in there the other day. You open up a box of condoms. I bet the condoms are already broken, you know? On the bottom, instead of being made in Taiwan, it was made by Juan. Thank you very much. Free trade agreement. No, I love their knockoff products. Those things crack me up. Like the other day I was in there, I saw Dollar General had a knockoff product of a Dr. Seuss book. It was called Green Eggs and Expired Ham. So that's... I don't know. Maybe that was a store advertisement. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. But it's nice to see everybody drinking. I'm very, very kind of jealous of you guys. And the reason is I had to quit drinking. I was making so many. And that's one thing I've learned about sobriety, folks. Sobriety sucks. I think a lot of sober people attack. And the main reason is you can't use alcohol to blame on your bad choices anymore. Like if you wake up next to a regrettable one-night stand, sobriety forces you to realize, maybe I'm just desperate with low self-esteem. I don't know, I one time I was so drunk at this restaurant on the way back from the bathroom, I told the owner she had a progressive place because she had a bidet. She's like, sir, we don't have a bidet. But I got a pretty good idea who just defiled the water fountain. Most people get drunk, you hide their car keys. Me, you gotta hide my computer. Because I'll get on social media and turn into an under the influencer. I will. Next morning, I'm frantically scrolling through posts like Steve Urkel going, did I post that? My family was so embarrassed by my drunk post, and they actually put a breathalyzer lock on my computer. Oh my God, do you know how embarrassing it is knocking on your neighbor's door in the middle of morning and asking if they wouldn't mind blowing on something for you? You know what I mean? Good stuff. Kind of brings new meaning to that phrase, love thy neighbor, doesn't it? But it got so bad, my drunk purchasing was so... If I ordered anything after 10 o'clock at night on Amazon would automatically send me a return label. Order processor like, look who's been drinking again. Oh man, I couldn't help but drinking every beer in my house, because I gotta tell you, the reason is when you're as old as I am, you could drop dead at any second. And considering I'm the only beer drinker in the house, if that were to happen, my family would be forced to throw out a lot of good beer. And you beer drinkers know that's a sin. So the way I look at it, I'm sacrificing myself for my family's sins. Just like Jesus Christ. In fact, I know I was, because Jesus Christ were the exact words my wife yelled at me when she found the empties in the recycling bin that next morning. Yeah, sometimes this stuff just writes itself. No, I think I'm the only person that's ever been fired from a volunteer position. I know. I don't care what PETA says. I thought my barbecue fundraiser was a hit. I mean, it's not like I was working the grill when wearing a fur coat or anything, I don't know, though. And I got a T-bone to pick with you damn vegans out there, because y'all are ruining my food. You came out with this thing called Impossible Meat. Looks like meat, but contains no meat whatsoever. Congratulations, vegans. You invented the first edible dildo. Wonderful. Give me an alcohol-free beer to wash it down with, Alcohol-free, another great invention there. Yeah, all the bloating and empty calories, all without the fun of getting drunk. Thank you very much. Give me 2 of them, Oh, man, I'll tell you, though, I think eating Impossible Meat is sort of like using a sex doll, Both of them sound like a good idea to try at the time, but after you finish, you kind of feel disgusted for doing it, Till that next morning, you come in drunk, horny, and hungry, and then it's bon appetit, This is nice. We got an older crowd here. This is how many latchkey kids we have in the audience tonight? Latchkeys. All right, there we go. You're my crowd, I'll tell you. And they'll tell the younger folks, our parents never gave a damn about us. Hey, could you like my parents never put up baby gates? Their philosophy was, let him tumble down the stairs and break his neck. He'll learn. Today's kids ride around in car seats designed by NASCAR. I'm lucky my parents buckled my seatbelt in, I was crawling around on their front seat, they'd slam on the brakes. I'd faceplant right into the dashboard's ashtray. End up unconscious on the floorboard with a Marlboro sticking out of my nose. Shoot, the closest thing we ever came close to a Chuck E. Cheese experience was a half-cooked pizza bagel and a set of lawn darts. That's just... you all know what I'm talking about. I think that's why our families had such large families, Because they figured if one of us died from child neglect, they still had 5 or 6 others they could choose from, But you millennials, you parent different than our generation, You like using word replacement strategies when you're disciplining your kids, which I kind of agree with. I think you should replace words with a good kick in the ass, because if you think words hit harder than your dad's leather belt, you never got your ass beat with his leather belt, I'll tell you that. And the worst thing about that is my dad would swing that belt on every word of the punishment, which really sucked because he was a stutterer. And if I cursed during that spanking, oh my God, my mom would put Tabasco sauce on my tongue. One time I went to school, my tongue was so numb, I thought my teacher thought I had a speech impediment. I'm like, I don't have a speech problem, you freaking bitch. She put Tabasco sauce on my tongue, too. That's... how much? 2 minutes. All right, 3 minutes left. That's cool. Got a couple things here. Got a trout here. This is actually good. Now, like I said, we got an older crowd. You're going to like this one. Hopefully you'll like this one. So, I think, not older, I mean more mature. How is that?
Relatable.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Relatable. There we go. See, even comics learn something here. We learn something. Now, parents nowadays will go into schools and get books banned because they have inappropriate content. Where the hell were these parents when we were watching driver's ed movies like Blood on the Highway and Red Asphalt? You remember that? And for those of you too young to remember, basically these were educational snuff movies. It basically showed you the accident scene to scare the hell out of teen drivers. Now, I remember seeing that one scene. Anybody seen that remembers that one, the passenger went right through the windshield and his brains were all over the front of the hood? I remember the driver's ed instructor goes, "What did you learn from that, son?" I said, "Don't call shotgun when that guy's friend's driving." Freaking kill you. That's why I rode in the back seat. I mean, worst thing that can happen, my face hits the headrest, I break a nose. I can recover from that, you know? Brains all over the dashboard, not so much, not so much. All right, before I go, this is a sports bus. It's a nice place, beautiful place you found here, Jim. This is great for some great comedy. I think the reason people like sports, particularly football, is because it reminds us of sex. Both football and sex, the object is to score as many times as possible. And when you can't be there for the live action play, you can always stream it on a handheld device. And just like football, I think sex ought to have penalties. Put referees in the bedroom, you know? Like what happens if you catch your partner cheating on you? They can get a call like, personal foul, ineligible receiver downfield. Released to free agency. Guys, you get a little too excited during foreplay, you might get a call like, we have a false start. Male completed before start of play. Loss of female. Ladies, what about when a guy tries to quarterback sneak one down in the rear end zone? I think you know what I'm talking about. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness in the backfield. Wow, talk about unsportsmanlike conduct, I'll tell you. No, but I'll tell you, you know who could use a referee that night? John Wayne Bobby, you know? Oh, imagine that call. Personal foul, clipping. You all have been an absolutely wonderful crowd. Please enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Joey, y'all. Give it up for Joey.